Alright guys, welcome back to the channel again. We just got that prime weld and did a little unboxing video and made a couple practice runs on it, just trying to dial everything in the last video. Now I got a bunch of metal over here that I picked up. We're going to try to turn some of this, I don't know, got to figure out exactly how we're going to do it, but we got to turn some of that into a FAB table. Don't know yet if I'm going to do a flat top on it or try to just do make it a fixture table with the holes cut in it for the clamps. I think that's really what I want to do. It's just going to depend on if we can actually get the top made for it. So anyway, that's the idea. I think I'm going to do try to replace that workbench back there. Make it where I'm gonna put it on casters so I can roll it up in there and then pull it out to the middle of the floor when I need to use it. Just kind of limit it on space inside the shop, so that'll make it kind of nice. That way it'll double function as a regular workbench, and then also the FAB table, we can, like I said, if we need to do a bigger project, we can pull it out in the middle and get to it. So anyway, that's the idea for this one. I'm gonna set you guys down and get to it and kind of show you along the way as I go. Stay tuned. All right guys, so I went over to Tractor Supply and grabbed some casters so we would know how high they set up off the floor. Trying to get it to about somewhere around 40 inches tabletop height, and these are about 5.5 inches off the floor, so we got to subtract that off, and we should be at 34.5. So we're just going to mark that. I got it down there on the end. We're going to mark that on our tube here. I'm trying to do this and hold it at the same time. So there we go. We got 34.5. And we're going to slide the square on there. Line that up with our mark. This is really hard to do with one hand. Alright, so basically I just like to put the tip down on the mark I made, then I push the square over there to the mark, and then we just make the line. That way you always get a pretty accurate mark when you're doing it. Sometimes with the width of the marker tip or something, it can be a little tricky to get it exactly right unless you put it on there first. So that's just a little tip for how I like to do it. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut 4 of these to this 35.5 length, or I'm sorry, 34.5 length. And once I get them all cut, I'll bring you guys back. I'm gonna have to cut some pads, make them about the same size as these, to go on the bottom so these can bolt up. But anyway, all right, bring you back in a minute. All right, so we got the 4 legs cut to the right length that we want them, and then we marked everything up here for our plates to go on the ends of them to bolt the casters up to. So got the first one cut out. Everything's taken kind of to be honest, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I really need to get a bandsaw or something to make a little quicker work of it. But right now we're doing it all with this Sawzall right here. To do, I think it took 2 legs, or maybe 1 leg and the 1 plate, which I mean it's 3/8 on the plate. So to do that, those 2 cuts, and then cut the end off of 1 of the legs, it took 4 of the batteries, 3 of the smaller ones and 1 of the bigger batteries for the Sawzall. So it's kind of taking a bit to get it done, but anyway, we're going to stay with it. Once I get all these cut the rest of the way out, I'll bring you guys back and we'll get to work welding them up. So stay tuned. Okay, so we got the 4 pieces cut out there. We got our legs over there in our bucket, trying to get those cleaned up. Did a quick little practice run with a piece of drop. Not too bad. It's a little thick. I couldn't really see that well what I was doing. I actually had that old hood over there that I was welding with, and I really could not see through it at all. So I just went over to Arc 3 and picked up one of these new weld coat hoods. According to them, these are supposed to be pretty decent hoods for the money. I think it was only like 120 bucks compared to some of them that are about 300. They say they've had a lot of people that really like them. So we're gonna see how that one does. Hopefully that'll make it where we can see a little bit better. I know it seemed like it liked 130 amps. It was actually wetting it in a lot better, but when I got over here on this side, I backed it down to 120, which I guess I might do that, end up doing that anyway. I had more control, but again, I also could see it better, so I don't know. We're gonna play around with it a little bit, see if we can do 130 with the new with that new weld coat hood. Hopefully that'll be enough to make it work. So anyway, we're gonna get these edges cleaned up on these squares, and I gotta bevel the 45s on the bottoms of all of the leg posts, kind of like you can see I did that there on this one. Just make it where we can get in there and penetrate a little bit better on this thicker stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna clean these up and prep them, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll weld them up here in a little bit. Got the edges all ground, got the plate finished up here on this side. Just got to drill the holes for the bolts to go through. But I put it on that bench grinder there, and was able to clean up just about all of the cut marks from the saw. So pretty happy with the way that turned out. Just got to do these other three and get back on the leg posts, get those beveled, and we'll be ready to weld them up. All right guys, give you all a little close up there. I just kind of beveled the edge all the way around. It's probably kind of hard to see the bevel itself, but anyway, got that ready and got our plates ready. So now we just got to stand it up there and weld it in. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of these three. I got 3 more pieces to bevel out, and then I will be ready to weld. So hang in there with me guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, I really hope you're enjoying the video. Just want to take a second to invite you over to Yurkit Racing Spread Shop, where you can find all sorts of merchandise. You name it, it's probably in there. So go over, find you something you like, take a picture of it in action, and send it over to us at yurkit_offroad@yahoo.com. I think it'd be a really cool thing if we could include some of these pictures at the end of our videos and share it with the rest of the community. Every order you place on this site is greatly appreciated, and it really goes a long ways to make sure that we're able to continue to bring you the content just like this. Alright, so guys, it's the next day. Kind of finished getting everything beveled last night and rode over to my cousin's house. Knocked out all the holes for the pads to go under the casters. So give you a little shot of those. Got those there. And we got all of the 4 legs beveled, cleaned, and ready to go. So basically, yeah, we're just going to set you down. We're going to get the welding on these things and see if we can't get them situated. And then we'll start making our cross braces for the bottom of the table top. Haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but we'll figure something out. So anyway, I'm going to get these pads done. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're back again. Ended up coming back out the next night. We were having an issue. I only had a 110 service ran out. I had everything ran out here to the panel, but I hadn't ran the actual outlet over there for the 220. So earlier today I came out, we fixed that problem. Now we can actually run the amps that we need to without having the breakers cutting out. I was kind of having that issue last night, and I couldn't turn it up like I really wanted to. This welder will only do about 140 amps. I think it's 140 amps that it goes to on 110, but on 220 we can run up to 224, 225. And really what I found is that for this project it seems to work good in the 180 range. So last night when I was trying it, we were having to run a long time in one spot, run really slow, and I was kind of getting a lot more heat soak into it than what I wanted to. So anyway, I like the way this is doing a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and get fired up and see if we can get these last two welded up. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so got all four of them down there. Pretty well set. I just got to do the, I guess now that we got the legs done, we can move on and try to start hitting the other braces and stuff around it. Pretty happy with the way it's turning out. Definitely am not a pro by any stretch of the imagination, but some of those welds aren't too terrible for no more experience than I got at it. So I'm pretty excited. We're going to keep moving forward. Just getting some more seat time in and some more with this TIG machine so that we can get ready to do this front end kit. I really want the welds. I want to be up to par a little bit before I just jump in and start doing those again. So anyway, that's going to probably do it for this one, guys. I'm going to pick it back up in the next video. We'll go ahead and cut some more pieces to do, like to connect all the legs underneath the tabletop, and then I got to get a tabletop made. I'm trying to talk to my father-in-law about that. Maybe I can get something worked out that way. But anyway, stay tuned, comment, like, and subscribe, guys. We're gonna see you on the next one. And so far, man, we're loving this thing. Primewell 225X. Check it out, guys. Thanks.